What is going on, guys? It's Bedfast Duck here, talking about my internet service provider today, which is Windstream. In all honesty, if you ever, if Windstream is ever providing in your area and there's no other internet service provider, then go with them. But if there's another one, go with the other person, because they are literally, I think, the worst internet service provider on the face of the planet. They'll charge you for the highest, I think they range from 612 to 20 megabit per second download rate, and they cannot deliver on that, at all. I know I'm gonna be putting up some images here on my on the video of what I get at my house and around where I live, such as at the local McDonald's, who actually has a higher download rate and lower ping than at my house. And this is part of the reason why I have not been posting regularly, because this, combined with Battlefield 4 online gameplay, like trying to get good clips and stuff, is extremely hard to do. Normally the game will crash anyway on about 1 out of every 3 maps. I think I mentioned that in the last video. And the netcode on Battlefield 4 is still pretty broken. That being said, they are trying to fix it as best as possible, but combining this with such a high ping and low download and upload rate and all that, it just totally doesn't necessarily ruin the game for me, but it gets me angry at the game sometimes. And I know it's not the game's fault. I know it's my internet service provider, because I do some of these tests I do during while I'm playing. And I'll just show up the first one right here. This is my download rate, or not my download rate, this is my ping and download rate at my house and my upload rate. As you can see, it's extremely high ping. Like, literally, when you talk about ping while playing video games, you want it anywhere below 50 is pretty good. Anything above 50, or 50 to 100, you'll get a bit of lag. But 1200 is unplayable. Literally, everybody just starts lagging out. Windstream has been saying that they're going to fix this, and they've been saying this for about 6 or 7 years now, and they haven't fixed it. They said, oh, we're getting fiber optics. It still hasn't happened. Their customer service is literally the worst customer service I have ever dealt with, and I've dealt with Airsoft GI, Airsoft Megastore, Evike, which is another Airsoft thing. I've dealt with Dish Network. I've dealt with Amazon. And I'm not saying that those are bad, but they're really good. And then you go and you call Windstream, or you go to chat with a representative online, and literally the entire thing just seems automated. They seem like they're reading you a cue off of their computer if you're actually talking to somebody. Or if you're online, it's literally after everything you send them, they'll be like, alright, you need your username and password. And it's like, well, I'm trying to recover my password because I'm trying to set up a new modem. And they're like, alright, well, I can help you with that. And then you wait for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then they just send you thank you. Why would you send me thank you? I didn't have to send you anything. And then they said, we are doing all that we can to fix the problem on our end. What is that even supposed to mean? It's like, I didn't ask you to fix anything. I just asked for my password. I know what my username was. And they're in about 5 minutes later, the lady just logs out. I have never dealt with somebody or a company whose customer service is so terrible. And another horror story about their customer service: about 2 years ago, I had called because my ping was actually like in the 1800s. I'm not kidding. It was the worst I think I've ever seen it. And my download rate was literally, I want to say it's like 1 KB a second or a minute. It was so slow. And I had a project due for school, and I had to turn it in by midnight that night. And I wasn't able to turn it in because my internet was really, really, really slow on uploading the file to the server. So, but I went to my teacher and she cleared it up the next day, because I actually took a screenshot of how slow my internet was and was like, see, you can't really blame me. And she said, okay, it's fine. But here is, I just showed you my ping rate and everything at my house. Here's the one at McDonald's. Yeah, you see that? It is a lot better than mine. And I've actually done averages on these, and even statistically speaking, on a bad day, McDonald's Wi-Fi is about 3 times better than mine. It's unbearable. I mean, I can hardly play online without a game starting to lag out. Literally, I think on a good day, I'll get 2 or 3 games in that I'm doing good in, and I'll say, alright, I'll put this in my file save, or I'll save it into my computer so I can use it in a video. But if you think about it, 2 or 3 games out of about 4 hours of playing. I don't play 4 hours every day, that being said, but that's just awful. I mean, if you think about it, each game on Xbox usually lasts about 15 minutes, and that's just terrible. I mean, and I'll upload, in a few days, I'm gonna upload a video on one of my actual, well, this is gonna be a good game that you guys are watching, or a semi-good game, because there is a little bit of lag, but in a few days I'm gonna be uploading a video of a bad game. You guys are gonna see, it starts off pretty good, and then that was the day I checked my ping, and it was at, I think it was at like 350 or something around there, and the game just like stutter stepped everywhere. It was just terrible. But you'll see, when I'm talking about lagging, it's not necessarily just running and stuff. If you watch, I'll reload a few times during games, and I'll go through the entire animation, and there'll be the same amount of bullets in my gun as I started out before, or less than. I know I've done it a few times, and I've reloaded, and it just gives me that one in the chamber bullet, and honestly, that gets you killed really quick in Battlefield 4. It is, Battlefield 4, in my opinion, is a way more fast-paced game than Battlefield 3. You get killed a lot quicker, because, especially on console, from what you're used to in Battlefield 3 transitioning over to Battlefield 4, because I don't want to say the ranges on the guns are higher, but there's less of a blur, if you will, because on Battlefield 3, the rendering rate, like the distance rendering rate, was really tiny, I believe, on console, and when they got to Battlefield 4, they fixed this as best as possible, and it's worked out a lot. You get the killing ranges are a lot farther, but you get killed a lot easier. Also, that's the trade-off. But Windstream has just gotten so bad that we've searched, and nobody in our community is gonna be, or where I live. Like literally, I think there's one more. I think it's True Vista, but they actually don't provide at my house. They provide actually in the city, close to where I live. But they get their advertising is like spot on. Like if they say you're paying for a excuse me, I'm getting indigestion here. If you're paying for a 6 megabytes per second download rate, then they're gonna provide a 6 megabyte per second download rate continuously, like as much as they possibly can. With Windstream, if you're paying for a 6 megabit per second download rate, you're lucky you're gonna break even 0.1. Well, that was a bit overreactive, but you'll get around 1, even if you pay for 12 megabits per second. You're still gonna get around 1, no matter how much you pay, or no matter what service you're paying for. They're going to just give you the 1 megabit per second. And it's really annoying. They actually have been sued. The state of Georgia, I believe, sued them, which I'll post an article to that down in the links in the description. And there's been a few class action lawsuits. I know actually one of my teachers was in one a few years ago, and they won the suit, but it was totally pointless because actually I don't think they did win it. I think the lawyer actually settled. And what Windstream gave them was you get 50% off your bill for 6 months, and then you have to pay the regular price again. So you're still not getting what you pay for. If you pay for 6, you should be, and you get 50% off. You should still get 6, but, well, this is kind of confusing to say. Technically they're paying for 3, but they still only get 1. It's really annoying, and it's gotten so much worse. And part of the issue was, I was actually reading up on it online, and part of the issue is internet service providers have like little, I guess you could call them server farms. It's where basically all the information is flowing to and from. And where I live, there's approximately 20, I want to say there's, hold on, let me Google this really quick. There's 16,297 people where I live as of 2012. They have 1 server farm that's in a tiny, I think it's like a 9x9 building. Tiny building. And that's it. It literally provides for 16,000 people. Well, probably less than, because some people have True Vista. But it provides for close to 16,000 people in a 9x9 building that doesn't use fiber optics. It doesn't have the equipment actually able to produce the rate that people are paying for, because Windstream a while ago bought another internet service provider company, and instead of upgrading the equipment or totally getting rid of the building and putting up their own, what they did was they left the equipment, they didn't refurbish anything, and then they said that they were going to refurbish things. And they have in certain places, like at the school, because it's a state funded thing, so they can't necessarily say no to them, or they would get like lawsuits out the wazoo if they weren't giving the state the internet service that they claim they have. So, which they already have been sued for that, but they would be getting so much more if it's a public education system, because it's not just the state that's paying, it's the taxes that are paying for it. So literally, if they weren't providing that, every person where I live could sue Windstream for false advertisement, which we still can sue them for false advertisement, but they're going to just settle like they did before with that story I was telling you earlier about my teacher who got his account settled for 50% or whatever during his lawsuit. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. It's actually been one of my longer ones that I posted recently, and it is going to take a lot of time to upload. So this is, well, I'll just go ahead and say that 2-minute or however long that video was that I posted the other day, it took my internet, I think it took it 8 hours to actually upload that video. That's how slow it is. So you guys get for people who use YouTube to like upload videos and stuff, that's how long it takes over here where I live to upload any type of video. I mean, this one, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 days to upload. I'm going to just leave my computer running and hope that it goes all the way through without any glitches or anything. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Bedfast Duck, signing off.